Hey, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Brown Gent. In today's video, I want to talk to you about the Libra scam. This is that Argentinian coin that came out a couple days ago and basically blew up the meme coin trenches. While I do think that obviously this is a negative event for crypto as a whole, I think it was a necessary event, but there's a ton of moving pieces, and I'm glad that this was finally seems like the last straw that broke the camel's back. Because for the last year or so, I have been telling you guys about all of these scams. And one of the things they talk about in scam circles, you see this in poker a lot, is basically you don't completely skin a sheep. You shear it slowly. You don't skin it. You don't make it obvious. But these idiots have just gone so far in one direction, extracting money as much as possible, likely because of what happened with the Binance token and CZ's dog Broccoli taking money from people's pockets. So they just went out in a fireball of glory. So I'm going to basically give you my thoughts, give you a bit of the background and some of the things that are continuously happening because there are so many players involved. Even Jupiter is involved in this, right? So still pending a statement from Wear Meow at this point, but this is massive. So guys, I want to share this with you. Before we get into it, as always, just remember, please make sure you hit the like button, share the video, subscribe if you're on YouTube, follow me if you're on Twitter. You can check out my services in the links down below. And also, if you want to see my EVM activity, check out my wallet on the bank. Now, Libra was a token that launched, luckily for me, in the late hours here in Dubai. Like, I think it was like 1 to 2 a.m. over here. I guess it really started taking off around 3 a.m. on February 15th. And it went all the way to about 4 billion market cap and then started completely unwinding. And the reason for this is Javier Milei, who's the president of Argentina. Well, he put out a tweet, just like we saw with Trump, talking about a token. And when you realize that he's not hacked, you start thinking, wait a second, it's time to just ape and ape and ape. So you look at 4 billion and go, this is not enough if a president is actually posting this. So a lot of people aped 6 figures, 7 figures, their entire portfolio, sold whatever they could with haste to put into the token just to lose money. I believe the total amount lost was nearing $100 million. Now, I'm going to be straight up with you. I woke up and saw the majority of the timeline playing the victim card due to Libra. And I'm going to be honest with you, straight up, there's risk involved with everything. I don't know where we've gotten to that people think you can just put money into a meme coin and it has to be guaranteed regardless of who posted it. Reality is that's people's greed getting ahead of them. You got to charge to the game. You just don't, like, you can't ape everything on a tweet. I don't care who does it, right? And people go like, well, why are you victim blaming? Why are you victim shaming? Listen, no one's a victim. You know why? Because everyone knew what game they're playing. Everybody who's been in these trenches knows what they're playing. They just hope somebody else would be the sucker who took the hit. It's always a game of hot potato with these things. And the reality is the people who normally have an edge, the people who basically always get in before everybody else, thought somebody else is going to get the hit. Because for the last couple months to a year, you've heard them saying, don't cry in the casino. Now that the casino is on fire, they're like, oh, I like this casino. I want it to do well. No, these guys want you to be a complete sucker. They want to make sure that you lose all your money. They think it's a complete joke. And guess what? I'll be honest with you. I'm happy to see these guys get destroyed. Why? Because the reckless gamblers are the ones who are ruining this space for all of us. Every time I talk about this, I get asked, how come you're always hating on these people, Brown Gent? They're helping. There's a real reason. They're giving utility to Solana and the casino. Or Brown Gent, you must just be mad because you faded all this. Yeah, I'm mad because I didn't lose money on these shitty coins. I'm sorry. That's just the reality of it, right? Now, because of this, there's a lot of people for the last few weeks to months who've been talking a bunch of smack about people like me, about people like Crypto Cove, about people like, Kate XBT, those of us who actually provide you with airdrop alpha. Let me distinguish the kind of person I am, or the kind of people we are, from the kind of trash and the filth you see on crypto Twitter. Those of us who actually provide you alpha on airdrops, we are helping you onboard onto projects. We are helping you onboard onto chains. We're getting you into protocols. We're explaining to you our strategies. Every single time I do this or they do that, we are taking away from our rewards. Every single person who I share my strategies with, right? Because I'm not giving you fake strategies like other people. When I tell you what I'm doing and I share that openly and honestly and transparently, what happens? Well, I'm getting less airdrops. Oh yeah, sometimes I get referral points, but even there, anytime the airdrop backfires, I have given back 100%. With Scroll, I gave 100% of those referral rewards back to the people. I didn't keep any of it, right? And the referral rewards are so miniature in compared to the value that we lose. On the other hand, meme coin shillers, what do? Well, they send you all the referrals to their platforms, BullX and all this other crap. They basically make you trust them so they can squeeze out every single dollar, and they put you into a cult where basically you attack people warning you. Oh, it's not the fact, it's not bad that you lost. You just didn't try hard enough. This is a scam game that we have seen time and time again. We've seen this everywhere outside of crypto, and it's taken root here. And I'm glad to see this whole thing burning. I want it to burn to the ground, and I want the LA Vape cabal and all their other junkie friends and all the trash people in this ecosystem to be good and gone. Get the hell out of here. Every single one of these people, they shill you meme coins. Why? So you can be their exit liquidity. Every single time you buy, it helps their bags. Every time we give you advice, it hurts us. Who are you actually going to trust? Let's just be honest here. So I put some respect on airdrop hunters, at least the ones who help you or the ones who give you real alpha, right? Because we're not pumping our bags. We're actually hurting ourselves. Everybody else makes money off you. In fact, what we're doing is we're giving up our rewards so you guys can get tricked by meme coin shillers who will then end up stealing your money. So we're basically giving our money to meme coin shillers if you think about it in the short term. Now, here is a statement from President Millier. I'm just going to sort of go to the translated copy. Basically, on October 19th, he had a meeting with representatives of the KIP protocol. Basically, they told what they wanted to do with a private financial venture. All this to say, he was convinced to basically post a tweet with a contract address and basically say over here, hey, guess what, man? It's time to, can you post this tweet, whatever? And when they did, they got destroyed. And by the way, guys, I know you're asking a lot of random questions that are not part of this. Ask me that in the AMA. I'm not going to get to it here, guys. You got to show some respect. I literally post in the AMA for this stuff. Do not ask me bullshit questions about other topics. Like, respect the video that I'm doing, okay, guys? Because I'm not going to answer. I don't want to ignore you guys, but let's just be honest here. Now, Scooter, who I've not really been the biggest fan of in the past, got this spot on. Basically said, these sick fucks flaunted their millions in profits in your face while telling you to sacrifice your time, which I have also told you many times is the most valuable commodity that you have. At some point in your life, you will pay so much money just to get an extra day or an extra week. That's the reality of it. But right now, because we trade our money for time, right? As when we're younger, we're trying to chase gains, right? They want you to chase gains on meme tokens by trenching 24/7. All the while, they make back-end deals and trade with insider information. They also shill ref links for tools to extract even more money from you. And then they brag about their clicks by adding groups to their bio. They told you it was a skill issue while they rigged it. You don't hate these guys enough. Now, KIP protocol came out and said, hey, it wasn't us. A lot of misinformation. I love it. People use the word misinformation, especially like, certain groups of people, because they're always lying. Right? They're like, oh, the token launch and market making were fully handled by Kelser Ventures, represented by Hayden Davis, friends of LA, some guy who lives in LA. Now, this idiot decided, hey, it's not bad enough that I rug people for $100 million. Let me undox myself. Let me go on here, say a bunch of nonsense, which basically says, hey, guys, I'm going to pump the Libra chart. So maybe you want to jump into the Libra chart, and I will pump the chart. basically, guys, if you fall for this again, you deserve to lose, because honestly, the moment before this announcement came out, people already front loaded the charts with more tokens. Like, they bought in at the lows and they're ready to dump on you again. So if you want to jump in, if you want to lose more money, so be it, right? Immediate release, like he's talking about all the stuff that happened, right? He's proposing to reinvest 100% of the funds. What was interesting that he mentioned was how Meteora and Jupiter and everybody else who was involved, and how, like, you know, they need to also give back some of the money, right? And we see some other things come into play. Number one, Kelser Ventures are responsible for the two biggest liquidity sucks of all time. Melania and Libra were both deployed from the same wallet. These are all doxed people living in the US. This is not some mysterious overseas cabal. Now, I want to share something with you guys very quickly, okay? Because there's a ton of stuff going on, and I want to share some videos with you just so you're aware of this. So let me just find this video by Jonah, who, by the way, until yesterday was backing up not Thread Guy, who is probably, you know, allegedly one of the biggest, you know, scam artists on this entire thing, right? Like, I say allegedly because I don't have any actual proof, but let's be honest here. Like, listen to this stuff and just hear it out, okay? It's about a minute.
So bad, so bad.
Off lost money too. Fucking Pierce and Top both lost money. I feel so bad. Top's down like fucking. My manager's down like 20 G's. Feels like everybody lost money on this. I round trip, bro. I was up like fucking 300. I got in really, really early. I was up like 300K, and fucking luckily.
See what happened here, right? I just want you to see this. He got in very early. Why? Because they are insiders. All of these guys, they get told way ahead of you guys. And what ends up happening is they use you guys as exit liquidity, telling you to go out there and click buttons. But these guys couldn't trade anything if they weren't given the signal ahead of time. There was another guy who was on a live stream talking about all the things he does to do due diligence. I don't have the video here, but you know what he did? The literal moment he got a DM on Telegram, he just on stream, like a complete amateur, a complete bozo, decides to just put $250,000 into the token, doing none of the stuff that he said he does. Why? Because none of them actually do it. Every single one of these guys, the ones who actually make money in the trenches, are using insider information. And if you win, you got extremely lucky, because you're not supposed to win. Like, this is not a real casino. This is a casino where they tell you your odds are like your odds are 10%. Your odds are like not even 1%, like 0.1%, if that. And when you win, you don't make much. The guys who win here are the ones who are pulling the strings behind the scenes, who are getting the contract addresses. In fact, on another stream, Not Thread Guy mentioned that everyone knew about the Argentina token. Well, I didn't know about it, but apparently the cabals did. Even Jupiter knew about it. A lot of people in the industry knew about it. This is why, if you are thinking again of, hey, you know what, it's fine, let me jump into Safe Moon, which happened last night, which also rugged. Listen, guys, I can't keep warning you. If you want to lose all your money, go for it. If you want to give an idiot like this and his friends like Frank to God and Rasmer and FaZe Banks your money, go for it. I'm not going to stop you. That's the reality of it. There's winners and losers in this. Why don't you just hold for real utility? Why don't you buy actual projects? Why are you buying these scams where these guys have already front loaded, ready to dump on you? That's what they do every single time. Do not have any pity for these guys. I cannot wait for there to be actual investigations and for these guys to get the consequences given to them. I'm sick and tired of you guys, not all of you obviously, but some people who come in here and always defend them. They don't deserve a single defense. I don't care. Watch this. This is actually crazy. I did not think that Dave Portnoy would be the person to talk about this, but I'm going to give you some context. He and other influencers were given a bunch of tokens ahead of time. So watch this.
I told you I had a wild story. So the thing launches, and Hayden is like, you're in the ledger. You're in the marketing program that we built for this. And he's like, sends me, I think it was 6 million coins, something like that, maybe 6.5. I forget what it was. And again, I wasn't overly surprised that I got the coins, because he told me I was in the plan. So he does that, and I'm getting ready to tweet like, hey, this is a great launch. Malaya is a great launch. Great launch. Get ready to tweet it, this, that, the other thing. And I send it to Hayden, and I'm like, this is what I'm going to say. I'm proud to be part of this project. I like what he's doing in Argentina. I bought a lot of my own, but they also gave me coins. And he's like, you can't say that they gave that we gave you the coins. I'm like, what do you mean? I have to say that. He's like, well, no, then it seems like you're an insider. And this, I think we got confused. Like, I knew about it before. Whatever the case, they're like, no, you can't say that we gave you coins. I'm like, well, I can't accept coins if you don't fucking let me say you gave me coins and I'm part of the project. So I literally sent the coins back.
Can you believe this? Like, here's the thing. I completely believe Dave Portnoy here. Like, he has no reason to lie about it, and it actually aligns with a lot of the things that we think happen, right? Like, think about how many times we get gaslighted into thinking these kind of things don't happen. Every single one of these guys, like, it's one thing, by the way, Fudge Zero, to buy these things with the thought of getting rich overnight. It is literally impossible with these things. Why? Because it is made impossible. At least with Doge and Shiba Inu, there was actually a potential of doing this. Imagine Shiba Inu where everything is front loaded and everyone who buys just gets dumped on. That is what's happening every single time. All of these guys are cheaters. Every single one of these scumbags deserves to go to jail. Like, the fact of the matter is, look at this, by the way. This is also from the space. So basically, what happened is they were sending out millions of dollars worth of unlocked tokens to influencers with a coin at 4.5 billion FDV. And 180 million USDC. So they're wondering why the chart got completely dumped. Meanwhile, large, well-known accounts were pushing this trash while dumping their allocations. So all of these guys who were on the timeline talking about their losses, most of them didn't even buy. People like Razmer, people like all these guys, like you know what I'm saying? They want to pretend, right? Like, I don't have no proof, but I'm sure that a lot of these big guys, the ones who were shilling Libra, right? We know who they were. They all got allocations. Right? I cannot prove it, right? So that's why I say allegedly, right? We don't know exactly what happened, but you guys know, right? Without a smoking gun, we can figure out who got what. And the reality is we don't hate these people enough. Why? Because these projects like Hayden, they use this for marketing. And they know that if they give influencers these tokens, influencers will post this. And when I say influencers, I mean the big accounts. There needs to really be a cleansing, because I'd say the majority of big influencer accounts on Twitter are broke, and they will do anything to take your money. And because of that, when they get these deals, they won't tell you that they got the tokens. They will just dump on you, right? So they'll pretend, like, people will pretend like they lost, right? Look, if Dave Portnoy got 6 million free tokens valued at 16 million at the top, he sent them back. Your favorite KOLs also did. They are blatantly lying to our faces like we are stupid. We don't hate them enough. Right? Look, Rasmus posted, oh, Dave Portnoy got sent allocation in Libra. He sent the tokens back. Who else got Allo? I'm like, bro, you did. And I'm like, posting this will not save you. Why? Because this guy and his buddies are well known for this stuff. Every time they win, every time that they get in and get out off insider information, they call you a stupid. They say it's a skill issue. They say don't cry in the casino. You know Frank to God said earlier tonight or earlier today? He basically said, yes, I'm an insider. If you're not an insider, then that's your problem. Something to the extent of it. So let's just be honest here. And what I was surprised about, right, was Jupiter, right? Jupiter, there's been a lot of talk about Where Meow from Beanie Maxi on Twitter about how Where Meow has a big role to play in Libra. So Jupiter put out an announcement right now, and they're going to say something, or Where Meow is going to have a statement very soon. Just something to keep in mind. I let my private group know, by the way, when Jupiter was like 92, 93 cents, to basically dump Jupiter as a hedge just temporarily until we saw what happened. I believe it's 87 cents right now. If Where Meow says something, this thing can completely tank the wrong way. I really hope it's not true. Let's be honest. So Jupiter says since the start, they placed a massive premium on transparency. The meme coin launch game is a dirty game with plenty of ugly behavior. You know what's funny? They say all these things, but they don't do anything about it. Why? Because they want the money, right? It's just like, hey, they're watching it happen saying we want a piece. I'm not hating on them for it because I know they're a business, but that's the reality of it, right? Jupiter is a DEX. They want their share of the fees, right? And they want to be competitive in this space. So who cares about it being a dirty game? So basically, a few members of the Jupiter team knew that there would be at some point a token project associated with Argentinian President Javier Milei. We learned of this 2 weeks ago directly from Kelser Ventures. While we were initially unsure, we then saw credible evidence in the form of public tweets from his personal account that he was serious. That was the full extent of our knowledge. We were completely unaware of the dealings between the principals, etc. And it was an open secret in meme coin circles, i.e. cabals, that an Argentina coin was going to launch at some point, as evidenced by the many public tweets. But in keeping with our ethos of confidentiality, we did not speak about it with anyone at all, online or offline. Further, no one on the team received any Libra tokens or related compensation at any time. The reality is, say we go through all this stuff. They don't have to. They verified it. And obviously, I'm not blaming them because there was a lot of Libra tokens out at the time. So they wanted people to know what the real one was, right? That's the whole idea. But let's just be honest here. This is a dirty game. They know it, and they want their share of what's going. You know what I'm saying? They really want their share of the fees. So Where Meow will issue a more detailed statement later today. We'll see how that goes. Obviously, like they say, we don't condone it, but we want to profit off it. So we will continue to support it, which, like I said, I'm not blaming them. So guys, I just want you to take this one thing away over here. All of these guys are lying. The big influencers who tell you that they basically did not, or that they lost, they got an allocation, right? So, nobody's got it right. They're all engagement farming, right? Like literally, Thread Guy is such an idiot. He muted the stream in the video I showed you because he didn't want more details coming out. That's why he had to get the guy to shut up. I don't even know why you answer a call on your stream. These guys are amateur criminals. Like good criminals know how to hide stuff. These guys are idiots, like actual idiots. You think they are outsmarting you in the trenches? These guys have sub 50 IQ, literally sub 50 IQ. These guys, like they're giving the law agencies enough evidence when this stuff comes out to just get them in trouble, right? Like that's just so dumb, like absolutely absurd. Yeah, Rasmer, Frank, all of these guys made so much dollars off it, and then they want to pretend like they're not the scammers or they're not the ones who had inside information. It's been proven these guys are pathetic. Honestly, the reality is they're like, honestly, I hope they don't drop the soap. Like, you should see the amount of things that are going out on Polymarket, people trying to create like markets to off people and betting on that stuff and violent attacks and whatever. It is really, really bad. But I'm not going to lie. I do not blame people for being very upset with the LA cabal. It makes it very hard for people like me, CryptoCove, and others to build followings is it fun to make a couple $1,000s every single day when people flaunt making millions? Of course. Of course it is. No one's going to want to make a couple $100 or a couple $1,000s a week or a month. People aren't interested in that. Why? Because these scumbags show you they can make millions, right? And Mike, I do agree that Jupiter's the best thing going, but guess what? The reality is that when this stuff happens, this is horrible for the entire space. And I appreciate what you're saying about, trying to give back by sharing alpha and everything. A lot of people are just not patient of it. And yeah, you do know it's bad when Dave Portnoy is the voice of reason. It is so bad. But we're going to talk about all of that and more in the AMA. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I'll be on in about 3 minutes. And while I would love a collab episode with CoffeeZilla, I don't think I'm big enough for him to sort of do that. But hey, I'm always open to it. I've been watching him since he was like 10,000 subscribers. So that would be pretty cool. Got Luna vibes? Yeah, I mean, like honestly, I don't think it's the end for Solana, but obviously these things don't help. But I do. Here's the one thing I want you to take away. Why is it that none of these guys called out any other scams, but when they lose, that's when they start crying? All these guys who say don't cry in the casino, when you say that to them now, they're like, yo, you're retarded, man. The casino's on fire. No, bro. You're like, these people literally want to have a feature to take money from everyone and put it in their pockets. If they didn't, they wouldn't be okay with stuff like Pump.Fund, which extracts the most amount of liquidity from our ecosystem, sells Solana, and puts it into cash. That's what these guys do. They take people are buying Sol. Nope. You pumped out fund. They use all the fees, sell it, and no one who's making a decent amount would be okay with it unless they were making bundles. And that's what's going on. These guys are making bundles and bundles and bundles. And hopefully we saw what happened with the US, the Digital Strategic Reserve. When those funds get confiscated, they're going to go there. They're going to go to the Digital Strategic Reserve. And I really hope to see the LA Cabal and a bunch of others in jail for all the stuff they've done, if in fact they were doing all this stuff all along. Obviously, it's all alleged right now. Remember, nothing I say is financial advice. I'm just a guy on YouTube seeing what's going on Twitter. Make sure you hit the like button, and I'll be back in 2 minutes for the AMA.